As we all know, there are not just 3 things certain in life, there are actually 4. The biggest one of the bunch is change. So today we're going to talk about some of the changes you're going to see for the Indicator Profile series in 2025. Just so you know, we haven't gone anywhere. We just took a little bit of break over the holidays. And we will reconvene the Indicator Profile series next week, probably on Wednesday. But there is going to be some changes, and it's important that you all know what those are. Some people are going to miss this video, so I'm going to try and link it down below in the description from this point on. But what we've done is clean things up a bit and attempted to make the results that you see a bit more true to life. Not that they weren't before, but we're just trying to make it all better. And so the 26 indicators you will see this year are going to fall into this criteria. First of all, and these are mostly Dan's decisions, by the way, because he's the one that has to sit there and do all the testing. So he has decided to go to a 1.25 times stop loss based on the ATR of gold and Bitcoin. Now, we've talked in previous videos that you can make this shift if you like. It's completely up to you, but Dan has decided to do this for himself. So just know the results you are about to see are based on this criteria right here. If you don't use this criteria, it doesn't really matter, because the first thing you should be doing, and we say this every video, is testing these indicators in your own system and not taking the results we show you too seriously. Even though, like I said, we are trying to improve them. Another way we're going to improve that is, unfortunately, no more 4-hour testing, and this is mostly just to take some pressure off of Dan. Some of these indicators are pretty quick to test. Some of them are really, really long. You guys know this all too well. But unlike you guys, Dan is trying to make a technical blog based on these results. And when you're sitting there waiting for these things to test, it can be really disruptive. So I know there's a handful of 4-hour traders out there who watch the Indicator Profile series. I just don't think there's enough to really keep doing this and putting that extra stress on Dan. So again, it's not a big deal. If you're a 4-hour tester, you're just going to run these things yourself. The real gold of the Indicator Profile series is not the results themselves. It's the introduction to the indicator and showing how it works. You know, the results are just bonus. So apologies to the handful of 4-hour traders out there, but at the end of the day, you're going to test these anyway on your own system and see how they really do. Now, in the sake of accuracy, I'm interested to see what you guys think about this change. I'm actually pretty bullish on it. Instead of doing a 1-year time span, we're going to change it to 3. This was Dan's idea as well, and I thought it was brilliant. I mean, it's all percentage based anyway. So if we do 1 year, 3 years, 10 years, it doesn't really matter. But when we're building our systems, we want them to be our systems for years, not just one. So let's see how these indicators do when you give them more time to perform. So I'm actually looking forward to this one. And then the last one, and this is something I didn't even know was going on. But when you test these, sometimes chalks get in there. Now, this was always the age-old question. What are chalks exactly? VP mentioned this kind of under his breath in a video, and everybody's just went crazy over it back in the day. Chalks are trades which never end up hitting your stop loss or any of your take profits. I said you just chalk them up to a nothing. I can't even remember what I said. But they don't really factor into the overall equation. Problem is, the way we've been doing them, they have been factoring in. Not in terms of results, but numerically. In terms, that little box that shows how many trades there were that year? Yeah, chalks will no longer be factored into those. So these aren't really huge changes, but they are definitely changes. And they will affect what you see on the results tables going forward. So I wanted to take this week to share this with you, and then we'll go ahead and reconvene next week. So thank you for your patience. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell if you haven't. We do everything on this channel. We profile indicators. We have an investing podcast. We have a trading psychology podcast. It's all things finance. And I think trading is going to be really, really good this year in 2025. I might even make a video on it. But you're going to want to get on board if you haven't. So thank you all for sitting tight. We will see you next week, and go get it.